small school, during the free throws, all of the student section would crouch down and then I would stand up and do my fire alarm. It was great. The opposing team like looked at me like I was psychotic. Yeah. It didn't help my love life in college. I was the human car alarm. Okay, everybody. Yoo-hoo. Hey, y'all. Welcome to Team Meeting. It is so gorgeous outside. I'm reminded every day why I moved here. So that is my bucket fill. I teared up today already while I was looking at the mountains behind Chris. So that was fun. Who else has a bucket fill and what are you grateful for? Lee.
I need to thank Paula Simon, who did an open house for me last Sunday. She had 8 groups through, picked up one of them. I'm hoping is writing an offer on my listing actually today from that. Perfect. So that was exciting.
Love it.
And my bucket fills for Jeff Morris. So for the last, 4 months, every Monday through Thursday, him and I get together for scripts from 8:30 until about 8:45. And it's just the consistency and the rhythm has helped my business. And I think it's helped his too. So thanks to Jeff.
I have to give a big thank you to all the people who took care of clients for us while we were in Madagascar. So Barb and Jamie helped run Roost while we were gone, and Audrey and Liza, of course. And so thank you to everyone who helped out for us while we were out of town.
That's for reciprocity. I was going to thank Rick and Marita for all the time they put in for every single morning showing up for all of these practice sessions we have with the Roost and also with, what to say and how to say it.
And I wanted to thank the whole KW family for this casino night we just had. I just got my prize and I had called them. I got an email on it and I called them and I asked them how familiar they were with Command and all the KW website, which is what I won. It was a website that helped. And they said they gave me a whole list of things and they're all into it. It's cool.
I want to just add to that, the website company, it's a friend of mine, and randomly she was the one who created Luminary Lending's logo, and she's actually good close friends with Amir. She grew up with him. So if anyone else needs help with their website, she's a great person. So contact me.
I have a few buckets to fill. First of all, thank you, Sean, for showing my clients for me while I had an appointment. They ended up making an offer on that house, so I really, really appreciate you doing that. Thank you, Kirsten, for showing up last minute to help me stage my house when I had someone who wanted to come see it off market. And thank you to Melanie. Melanie, because she sent me an agent who had clients that were interested in my house that I, again, am trying to sell off market. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone.
I would just like to fill Chris McGee's bucket for holding my open house this weekend. There was 11 groups through, probably because he's like so athletic with his signs and everything.
Athletic.
And then also Brandy, is she here? Also thank you. She helped an open house for me too. They both had good groups and I think they both hopefully picked up a buyer. So thank you so much.
I don't know if this is a lame cop out, but I just want to thank the office. It's an awesome place to be. There's always somebody that can help me out. I always have questions and there's just so many helpful people here with more experience and more brains than me. So thank you to like 24 people. I also want to thank a visitor, Hunter, today for dressing like I usually do. Thanks for showing up. And thanks, Kirsten, for wearing those super cool pants. Those are cool.
All right. Who has some bite-sized wins? So for those that don't know, I'm quite funny. And this is about how you are winning with AI and technology. So bite-sized wins.
Well, this is, I guess, two parts. Let's throw this back to Jocelyn for a little bucket filling through Claude, which I still have never opened, but through her, we were able to get a bunch of data on a listing that she and I have together in Kaysville. It's a high price listing, so there's not a ton of activity. And my clients, as Jocelyn knows, are very, very demanding. So being able to provide them some very objective data, just saying, hey, the absorption rate in this price point is 7 months. So the fact that we haven't had a showing on your $2 million home in 2 weeks is not like a red alarm. I mean, if you had to sell this next week, then we need to talk different strategy. But being able to show them empirical data as opposed to just saying, hey, you know, it's just wait it out or whatnot, right, was really, really helpful and has really gotten them off my back. So it's been quite helpful. That was via Claude.
I asked ChatGPT where I bought something.
Was it correct?
I couldn't find it.
Okay. Well, there we go. Yes, still a win, still a win. Kirsten?
I had a pre-listing appraisal report done on a house that I have coming up that's super big and unique and complicated. And just because it's a family selling it, it's an estate. So I had multiple siblings, so I needed to try to explain everything really thoroughly. So I put the inspection or the appraisal report into ChatGPT, and it popped out a nice summary. And then I also put in the absorption rate and had it add that to it. And it popped out this really great email that I went through, of course, and made sure everything was accurate because it did miss like a half bathroom in the summary about the house. So I went and changed those things, made it look more like it was from me, less chat GPT-ish, and I sent it out and it went over really well, and we're about to go on the market. So
I'll go. So 2 things. My team normally does a marketing report every Friday for all of our existing listings, and that typically takes around 3 hours. We compile everything that we've done, and it's just a marketing analytics. We saved 2 hours and 45 minutes by using Claude and doing that, just importing screenshots of all of the numbers, and then Claude laid it out so nicely. Another one is one of my agents on my team in Nashville used ChatGPT to go after an expired listing. And she uploaded the listing and said, how would you market this differently? And when she was able to present that to the client, she got the listing. So that was a super cool thing. I'm very happy she's on my team. So, yeah. Okay. Welcome to our new agents, guests, and visitors. We have some visitors in the room. So who wants to introduce themselves? Chris kind of already introduced Hunter. So
Already been introduced by Chris. My name is Hunter Barrick. I'm from Dallas, Texas. Lived here in Utah for about the last 5 years. Come from automotive side of things. I was a technician and a service advisor and looking to get into real estate.
perfect. Welcome. Glad to have you.
Hi guys, my name is Aaron Ponce. I'm a Utahn. Been here my whole life, a townie. I come from private banking with Wells Fargo and just kind of got tired of being in a cubicle 10 hours a day. So I'm here to give this a good shot. Thank you.
I love it. Good. Any other visitors want to say hi? Okay. All right. And then I wasn't here last week. So who has our cultural icon award? Come on up. Yeah, for the yeah. So, yep. Yes,
All right,
ma'am.
So Jeff and I talked about it. We were going to give this to Heather because she helped. I know. So surprising. No, because she helped so much with casino night, and she's been helping other agents stage their listings. And surprise, you're going to help us stage one of ours. So. there you go.
All right. And then because I love to just remind us of what our Y4C2Ts are, if we can go back one. Yep. There we go. All right, let's say it together. Win-win. Integrity. Do the right thing. Customers always come first. Commitment in all things. Communication. Seek first to understand. creativity, ideas before results, teamwork, together everyone achieves more. Trust starts with honesty, equity, opportunities for all, success results through people. And then we have the AI Agent Academy. So if you want to sharpen those tools, we're doing these on Fridays. There's one spot left in the 9 a.m. session and 2 spots left in the 11 a.m. session. So what the 9 a.m. is at South Valley and the 11 a.m. is on Zoom. So if you go to, I think that will click, right? But that might click.
If you go onto
too.
the Home Hub, they also have a calendar portion, and so it's on there.
Yeah. So if that doesn't click, then go to Home Hub and you can register through that. Perfect. All right, coming up this quarter. So again, Kimber talked about this a couple of meetings ago. There are a ton of amazing trainings, including Phil Jones, Adam Boxman, Will Van Wickler, and I think I had told y'all Will has become so successful through the Golden Letter, and he easily makes over 700,000 in GCI from one letter that he sends out. So just the library of all of these trainings with such amazing people, definitely tune into it. And that is on the Home Hub. So all of the dates are, so they're recordings. Yeah. So they're uploaded. Yeah. Not live. All right. And then upcoming trainings, you can scan the QR code for our link tree, which has our calendar. We have creative seller financing, which Jake will say a little something about. We have contracts with Broker Dave, and then LinkedIn 101. For those that don't know, LinkedIn is my baby. I am now requiring a prerequisite for my big LinkedIn class. I've become the preferred partner in 56 different companies through LinkedIn in Middle Tennessee, one in Berlin, Germany. And in order to take that class, this class is required. So it's going to be hands-on, really helping you create your LinkedIn profile and build it to where it needs to be. And then, Sean? Yes, it still is as of right now, and it might just be a celebrity guest teacher. Liz. It'll be recorded. The LinkedIn will, yeah. So you can watch it again at a different time, but you do have to take it in order to take my big Mamma Jamma class. All right, Jake, do you want to talk about?
Yeah, just for those who don't know me, I'm Jake Wood with Real Advantage down on the first floor. John Lish is teaching, he's our general counsel. He's teaching our seller financing class today after team meeting. It's a great class. It's a lot more open dialogue, kind of, examples he's had, those kinds of things. So come with questions. John's amazing.
Perfect. All right, and then we have a
Hey everyone, hope you're having a great week. I'm over at the other office doing their meeting, but wanted to give you a quick update on what's going on and let you know with some market stuff. It's jobs week, which means the Bureau of Labor Statistics is set to release their monthly jobs report this Friday. This report is typically a major market mover, and right now the data is looking supportive of mortgage rates improving. So hold on to your hats. Take a look at this image of mortgage-backed securities. You'll see we've bounced back nicely from that recent tariff chaos. Rates are now holding stable in the mid 6% range. If the jobs numbers land in our favor this week, we could see further improvements. Now, you're probably hearing a lot of recession talk in the news. I wanted to share a quick graph with you that shows what typically happens to home values during a recession. Over the past 40 years, in fact, home values have historically held strong or even increased during recessions. The only major exception to that was 2008 when we had a full-blown housing crisis. That was really based on bad mortgages and financing rules that are not part of the reality today. So this is not repeating itself. So let your clients know that a recession could actually be one of the best times to buy property. You know, we even been talking about volatility in the S&P and stock shifting. So moving your assets towards real estate could be a smart play to help weather the economic storms. Real estate remains a strong, tangible investment. If you haven't used our close on time and pre-approval guarantees, this is a tool that truly protects your commission. You work so hard to get a buyer in position. Then suddenly you have multiple offer scenario. Your contract offer isn't as strong maybe. Well, that's where we come in. Our guarantees make your offer stand out. We call the listing agent proactively. We're not waiting for them to chase us. In fact, when they see that we guarantee a closing on time, they know that we're serious and dependable. We put our money where our mouth is. Last thing I wanted to mention was don't forget about our real estate report cards for open houses. Thanks to Melanie and Linda, they reached out and we gave one for this weekend. If you let us know ahead of time, we'll send you a custom PDF with your branding on it. And then you can just print it out on your own and have it ready to wow buyers with market specific data. This way, when they come in, they know a little bit more about what's going on. Anyway, that's it for me today. I appreciate all of you and the amazing work you do. Have a wonderful day.
Y'all, if you are not using the real estate report cards, that is such an amazing tool to have when you're hosting open houses. It just increases your validity when a buyer walks in and you're able to present them with that. It's amazing. All right, and up next, we have our market talk with the one and only Josh Stern. Bum, bum, bum. What do you want your walk-up song to be? Da-na-na-na, bum. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
If you missed the QR code, it's all on.
Yeah. Do we have more than one? We're still. Hi, all. Welcome.
Hello.
So nice to see every one of you today. Hey, I apologize about last Friday. Who was here when I wasn't? Okay, great. Did you take over for the class? Okay. Okay, man, I'm gonna count on you for that. We got that coming up. What, this week? Yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow, buddy. Isn't that the last Wednesday of the month? Yeah, newsletters, man. We're doing it. Okay. Anyway, hey, on to the numbers. Lots of market summary here. We can see active listings, right? Keeps going up. Remember, this stuff is downloaded, and we know how to use Claude. Has everybody in here tried using Claude AI yet? And taking this stuff and just saying, hey, make this make sense and show it to me graphically, because I'm not a numbers guy. And I'm not, but I like to track the numbers. As I've stated, I like to do this every Monday from my own head. You guys are just beneficiaries of this, but ultimately it'll stick a lot better if you start doing this kind of stuff on your own. Anyway, we're seeing a trend, 8.3% increase in active listings over the last 4 weeks. I expect that to be happening this time of year. Typically, we're probably going to see that the top of the market, basically where we start leveling out in terms of listing inventory. That's going to happen in June some point. That's what's been happening for the most part all of the years of real estate other than 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. Those are weird unicorn sort of years that don't make a whole lot of sense. If we look at the last 7 days, we can see it just continues to have increased inventory. We had 2 weeks ago, the inventory had gone down a little bit. People had not listed their homes from the week prior. The reason for that, we already know, was what? Are you guys watching the news? Good, man. I like it. I like it. Our under contracts, are starting to come back up. So they took a dip also last week with the tariff tap dance, all of the stuff that's been happening. When there's uncertainty, it doesn't matter who you are, a business, a person. When there's uncertainty, you do nothing, right? Unless it has to happen. And so that's just what's happening. Sold data in the last 7 days, we did see a 7% decrease, week over week. However, when I report this number to you guys next week, what's going to happen to that sold data? Why is it going to go up? End of the month. When do buyers like to close? The end of the month. That's just the way it works. And so you'll see those kind of trends, you know. When I create these reports, which you guys now have access to, you can just create a copy of it. I make a copy of it, but then I give it today's date. So I have these things for, you know, multiple years, right? And so I'd love for you guys to start tracking on some of that too. We had our price adjustments were up to 1,370. That's a 22% increase week over week. That's pretty good news for the buyer side of it. And that's also decent, you know, sellers going, okay, we better get realistic about what's happening. We're uncertain about what the future is going to bring, but we know today we need to make a move. And so you're seeing people more willing, you know, to adjust the prices. Now, nationally, price adjustments are at about 36.5% of all listings. So more than a third of all listings are experiencing price adjustments. And that data, by the way, is based on a 90-day chunk of time. And so I could look at the same data. Maybe I'll put this on here for you guys next time because I have 90 days of this stuff. I could go back in 90 days and say, here's how many active listings we've had over that period of time. How many of them had experienced price adjustments? My guess is we're going to have a very similar number to the national number in terms of price adjustments. All right. They call them price reductions. But do you notice the language that I use? Did you hear what I said? Price adjustments. How many of your sellers like to do price reductions? How many of them? Nobody wants to do a price reduction, but price adjustments are, we're just adjusting to where the market is. And so don't kill the messenger. It's a less negative way of saying the same thing. And trust me, if you guys start using this type of dialogue regularly, it'll be like, even when I'm talking to real estate agents, I don't talk about price reductions anymore. I talk about price adjustments. So price adjustments for the last 7 days were up substantially. You can see our average days on market kind of trickling down. Again, I suspect that that's what's going to happen this time of year because you have a lot more buyers coming into market, right? And you've got fresh inventory. So what we're going to see happening is if you go into the fourth quarter of last year, you're going to see days on market begin to trail up. And the reason for that is because these are all the homes that aren't selling that are left over that are on the market. But what happens in January? You have a bunch of fresh people are like, okay, after the holidays, put our property up. Okay, springtime, put our property up, right? And so what happens is you begin to see the trickle down of days on market. So you're going to see a trickle up. You know, usually the highest days on market are going to be in the fourth quarter, and then the trickle down begins in January when we have new listings. Because ultimately what will happen is our expired listings are also going to go up in November and December, because these are the people that are like, never mind, I didn't sell it, it didn't work. Great opportunity for you guys to build a relationship because apparently they're not going to be real happy with their previous agent, right? Expired listings. I know there's at least a couple of people. Anyway, I wrote way too much about the market and what's happening here, and I'm not going to go through all of that with you because you have access to that. But I wanted to just demonstrate again, if I put all of this data into Claude and I ask it to just create, you know, I give it some prompts to create a graphical representation of this same data. It does that for you. And the good news is, if you don't want to read all my verbose, you know, paragraphs, I actually this time said, hey, could you also summarize, you know, my personal take on what's happening with the market? Because, you know, a personal take, I do that from my head. So I'm thinking about it, I'm writing about it, I'm paying attention to it. But for you guys, you probably would prefer the short version. So here's the short version. Market volatility has simmered down as certainty returns. Active listings up 2.8%. New listings surged 9.2% after a previous decline, indicating sellers are moving forward with their plans. Meanwhile, pending sales nudged up slightly by 2.3% after last week's 10% decrease. Oh, you like that? It's way easier to read that, isn't it? Days on market continue to trend downward. We talked about that. Here's some notable insights, right? 2 years ago. So again, I have this same data from multiple years ago. So I just compared it for 2 years ago at the same time. Days on market were 54 rather than 59. So we've only increased about 7% in terms of days on market versus 2 years ago. By the way, the national average currently for days on market, 107. So yeah, that's good information for us to have. That comes from our good friend Logan Motoshami's, you know, tracker, right? So he tracks days on market. Well, Altos Research tracks days on market nationally. And so we have access to that data. If you subscribe to them, it's like, I think it's $300 a year. So for those of you guys who are data nerds like me, that's really good stuff to have. You know, that's how I'm getting all your numbers that matter scripts and, you know, all of these kinds of things, right? KW Salt Lake City properties, by the way, sell 18% faster than Utah properties, right? So when we look at that Utah MLS days on market, just understand that's not like Salt Lake County. So Salt Lake County's days on market is 18% faster than what you see through the broad market, because we're at 50 days. Hey, here's a good piece of information for you. And I don't know if you can turn this into making an offer for immediate response, but KW Salt Lake City achieves 99.44% of its list price versus the market average of 98.97. Now, if I take that data and I say, hey, the average, remember, I'm not talking about the median, I'm talking about the average. The average price for a property in a single family home in Salt Lake City or Salt Lake County is $721,000. So that means that you're putting more than $3,000 on average in your seller's pocket for an average priced home, right? So just demonstrating some of the data points that you're able to get from the MLS and how we can then take that and use it to our advantage. Because some people say, I sell my homes for whatever percentage. Percentages don't mean squat to sellers, but dollars do, right? So I just wanted to show you guys that. And then here's kind of a summary of changes. Anyway, I gave you some national stuff, but I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time. Remember, once a month, I do this thing right here. It's so sexy to look at. I know you guys love this. It's called the 5-county absorption report. And I kind of do it for you guys. I really do it for me. It takes me about an hour and a half to do this once a month. But this time I did something new and I said, hey, let's take this data, export it in a PDF, upload it into Claude, and make it look awesome. And so I've shared this link for Claude. I've published it, so it's going to become public data now. But you guys can have access to this, you know, and I just wanted to play around with it and take a look at it and just see some of the things, right? Look at what it did for me. It broke down available inventory, monthly sales, month supply, median price. So if I look at month supply, you know, just for single family homes, you can look at Salt Lake County, Utah County, Davis County, Weber, Tooele, et cetera. You can see, you know, snapshots of the month supply if you want to look at that at the end of this graph. But if you want to compare it with the month prior, right? So last month we were sitting at total, if you took the 5 counties that we service, you had about a 4.5 month supply. And right now we're sitting at about a 5.6 month supply. So you can see those changes, right? You can also look at these comparison reports down here, which is great. And then it'll also give you kind of a market summary on all of that stuff, which is pretty cool. You can also do it for the condos and townhomes here. Isn't this cool? It took this from my data. I gave it a bunch of prompts, but it was a PDF that I uploaded into Claude. And it could read that stuff that you guys are probably like, oh, you know, it reads that and it produces something that's super sexy. You know, it didn't pull all the data from there, which is fine, like total sales for the year, you know, it didn't pull all of that information, but it gives you enough information to be able to break down and anyway, I'm not going to go through all of this. I was like, so like, oh, when it did this morning, when I put it in during my AI time. And the first time it didn't, and I had to give it some extra prompting. Anyway, I'm learning how to use AI. Anybody else learning how to use AI? So when you can take data like that and put it into graphical things, then you can actually take these graphs, download them, you can send them out to your clients, or you can just be more visual students of the market and figure out what's going on. So single family homes, if we want to look at what's happening with median price on single family homes, there you go, right? So April, we're sitting at 610 in Salt Lake. We've got 595 for Utah County, so on and so forth, all the way down. There's a bit of a different graphical representation here, but it does the same thing. Now, if you go back to my data points here, I just want to show you there are a couple of things. Number one, I go back 365 days for median prices over here versus the last 30 days. Because what I'm doing is I'm trying to follow trends. Are we moving up? Are we moving down? So last month when I did this, the last 30-day median price in Salt Lake for a single family home was $595. This month it's $610. You're going to find that to be true sort of across the board. And that's because you're going to have a higher list price that happens in the springtime. Hey, buyers, if you want to get a good deal on a house, should you buy in spring? Right. Once you start understanding these trends, and this is data, so this is an opinion, this is all data. And once you start understanding these trends, you're going to realize, oh my God, buyers get a better deal on homes when? Not in spring. Not in spring. Yeah, they're going to get it, towards the end of the year or really before March, comes up, right? So anyway, that's all fun stuff to know. Remember, I'm tracking distress sales as well. And the first data point of distress sales was last month, and that we had 121 distress sales for the month of homes sold. That's like less than 1% of the total inventory is distress sale. The national average, anybody remember what's the national average right now for distress sales? Because everybody's worried about the doom porn folks are all worried about the market crashing, right? But what's the national average for distress sales? Yeah, it's like 1.5%. So if we are at Keller Williams Reunion, the vision speech, you can see the data. It was 1.5% of sales were distress sales, right? We're less than that. So Utah's even less. And guess what? It just moved down by, roughly 25% month over month. So we only have 93 distress sales in all of Utah in the last 30 days. That's well under 1% of the inventory. Are we in doom and gloom mode, or are we like, people have equity, man. Like they're sitting on a pile of money. They want to cash out too. You're going to see when interest rates go down, you're going to see a lot more home sellers come up. Yes, ma'am.
The information of the distress homes.
Yeah, so if you go to utahrealestate.com, you go do a full search. I'll just show you really quick because my thing's not up there. If you go to the full search, hold on, I gotta look at it really quick and tell you exactly what that is. You go to the full search, and then there's special listing conditions right up at the top right of that full search screen. There's a thing called special listing conditions, and it gives you options like auction, in foreclosure, notice of default, price was previously approved, subject to third-party approval, etc. I picked the ones that are distressed. So there's probate in there, that's not distressed. There's auction in there, that's not distressed. There's trustee sale, that's not distressed. So I'm not picking those. I'm picking the ones that are technically a distressed sale. So anyway, it's almost nominal. The amount of distress sales is just nominal. And then I'm always tracking our last 365 in terms of cumulative sales. So anyway, you guys have access to all of this on the link tree thanks to your fantastic staff. Have a nice day. Did they see, were you guys following along on the Claude thing with me? Okay, good. I forget sometimes my screen. Well, when I'm teaching, my screen's always up there, but on the team meetings, it's not.
And then next we have our lovely Kirsten talking about all of the amazing events that our events committee is putting on, including Red Day.
Hello, everyone. These are the fancy pants that Chris was talking about. I don't know why they're so cool, but
I'm grateful for them too.
Feel free to caress them later if you want. I won't tell my husband if you don't. Anyway, just kidding. Okay, so we're passing around a sign-up sheet for Red Day and for the Carnival Committee. It's somewhere around. I think it skipped you because it was in front of you. Okay. So yeah, Red Day is coming up, as you can see. It's right here. It's on May 8th. We are going to be doing flower beds and building flower beds and planting produce and flowers for Switch Point, which is a company that Shad has a connection with. They're awesome. They're helping the unsheltered get back into homes, and it's mostly an older community, a lot of veterans. So it's going to be fun. They should have all of the tools that we need. So we will double check back to see if you need anything specific, but bring gardening gloves. We will have snacks and drinks provided at the event, and then we'll have lunch provided back here at the office afterwards. So that one's going to be fun. That's all agents. Everyone's going to get their Red Day shirts. If you don't have them, they have shirts here at the office that they can sell. Makai can help out with that maybe next meeting. And so we can get those going. And then as you see, here's our calendar for the events coming up. Carnival is the one after this. It's June 6th, 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. Sugar House Park. Samantha and I are meeting today to go over the logistics and figure out all of how that's going to play out. But you already know, and you have known since the beginning of the year, that it's on June 6th. So does anybody have any questions on what day Carnival is? Okay, so with that being said, Carnival is going to be super fun. We're going to have live music. We're going to have hamburgers and hot dogs. We're going to have booths that you can do, and we'll go over more of this later. I'm going to come up with some different ideas. So you could either do like a game in your booth, and then you can market yourself to your clients, network, talk to people, or you can do some sort of an experience. Like say you want to offer like free chair massages or something, or tarot card readings, or face painting, and people can come into your booth. We're going to be working with a family-oriented nonprofit. There's going to be a ton of kids there. So we're going to have lots of fun stuff for kids. Let's see, what else do I need to tell you about it? I guess really nothing right now until next week. We'll have a lot more information. And after today, I'll dial in the invitation for the carnival and some specifics, and I'll email it out to everyone. So watch for an email sometime before Monday with the carnival details. So please come and join. It should be a lot of fun. Thank you. Oh, yes. Yep, I just said I will have that out by the end of this week or the first of next week. I have a bunch of listings going live. Yay. But I'm kind of busy with that. So give me a minute here. My main job is taking over my voluntary non-paid job. So I will get to you guys as soon as possible. So thank you.
Thank you. And y'all, just another thing about Red Day, we talk about KW culture all the time. Red Day is such an amazing example of that. Our market center isn't the only one giving back that day. It is every single market center, not just in the US, not just in North America, but all around the whole world, all KW giving back on the same day. I have goosebumps. I'm quite emotional. But that is just such an amazing impact that we're all making across the whole entire globe. Before I start crying, Makai's going to talk about the printer.
Okay, so as you guys know, we're updating the cloud. Not in the newsletter, but the moral of the story is we need you all to set up on the new printer. So you can find the instructions scattered everywhere. They're on Linktree, newsletter, they're taped onto a sign on the printers. However, if you have a struggle going along those instructions, set up
It's going to be amazing because you'll be able to print from your phone, from your iPad.
benefit is if you go back and forth between the two KW locations, you can print in both now with this new pin code. And then another additional thing, if you guys want a custom pin, go ahead and email that to me. You guys to change it to what you want.
Perfect. Awesome. And then Chris and Sean, come on up. What do you want your walk-up songs to be? Here's your mic.
Okay, so yeah, every week we're going through some of these Phil Jones exactly what to say script practice cards. And again, I'll just say I'm doing this with Liz every Wednesday at 9:30 in the morning. I'm also trying to do this on my own at my office, just by myself in my office, because you can do this solo. Also every Tuesday morning and every Friday morning. Come hit me up at my office. Also, let me know you're going to come because I might schedule something else on that time. Okay, so there's 3 kinds of cards in here again, and I've just pulled the cards we're going to use today. There's prompts for like the situation, and today I've just picked open house since I do lots of them and I'm not perfect at it, so let's figure it out. And then I just pulled a random objection that's common to be had at an open house, and it's we are just looking right now. You've heard that before. And then there's these kinds of cards. There's the different ways to respond, and they come in like 6 categories that Phil Jones has separated out. And the way we've pulled from, what are these? These are staying in the game.
Staying in the game part.
Staying in the game. So I just gave him the whole stack of staying in the game, and I just want him to pick like his favorite one. So you're running the open house, and I walk through, and you're like, hey, are you on the market? And I'm like, no, I'm just looking right now.
All right, you're just looking. Well, help me understand, because that can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So what does that mean to you guys?
Well, we're gonna be looking to buy like later this year. Background. Yeah, so like we're gonna be looking to actually make offers later this year. We're just not ready to do that yet. We need to be saving up some more money before we can do that. This will be our first house purchase, and we want to save like 20%.
Right. Well, that's fantastic. Well, would it help while you're out looking if you had somebody dedicated to sending you properties that are the criteria that you're looking for?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Of course.
Okay, well, that's easy enough. So wonderful. Well, what I'd love to do is once we can connect later this week or early next week, let's have a sit down. And what we'll do is we'll actually go through the A to Z process of buying. Because I found in my experience that it actually does take a buyer roughly 6 months from when they've initially raised their hand saying, hey, I'd like to buy a home at some point, to when they actually either start looking, or if it's a little bit faster, maybe even closing that property. So there's no harm in getting started right away. I've got a meeting time available Monday at 1:30 or Tuesday at 3. What would work better for you?
Sooner the better. Let's do the Monday afternoon. Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, we're first time buyers, and frankly, it's not like we learned how to do that in school. You know, nobody's ever walked me through how to do a first time home buy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know, absolutely. That makes all the sense in the world, because what's really important is figuring out the process so you guys are set up for success and not just spinning your wheels on your own, trying to figure out, okay, now that I've found a home, what's the next step? So let's meet Monday at 1:30 at my office. I'll send you a text and an email confirming that, and I'll see you guys Monday at 1:30.
Love it. Thank you.
Easy as that. Easy as that.
Thank you. I don't need it. No, I'm mic'd up. Okay, y'all. So we started incorporating that into team meeting because what we say and how we say it is so important. If you're anything like me, when I first started, the word script was so cringy to me, and I wanted nothing to do with it. For those that don't know, I worked alongside my dad. My dad gave me this massive binder, probably from the 1990s, and said, here you go, here are all the MREA scripts. And I took it, but I didn't open it because I didn't want to sound rehearsed. Phil Jones, that's whose cards we're using, kind of changed my mindset and changed my perspective on the word script. It's not to sound rehearsed, it's to help us practice our conversations, to be prepared, to better guide our clients, to instill trust with our clients and lead our clients to more confident decisions. So what are some things in the market today that we can't control? Yep. 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 What can we control? Mm-hmm. Yep. The quantity of our conversations, the quality of our conversations, and the clarity that we can provide to our clients. So the market isn't defined by the news. The market is defined by the conversations you're leading inside of the news. I'm giving myself goosebumps. Listen, your calendar is your scoreboard. So if you don't have any conversations booked, you don't have a business yet. You have a dream. Phil Jones also made sure to put this in my mind. I call probably over 100 people a day. If I know that I'm having a conversation that day, I now put it in my calendar. If I don't have that in my calendar, I'm not going to prepare for that conversation. Every conversation we need to prepare for. If we're preparing for an interview, why wouldn't we prepare for a call with one of our clients, even if it's just a care call? And the way that you prepare looks different. You can look at their Instagram and see if one of their kids is graduating high school. You know, you can look and see if they're looking for a new job. You can look and see if they just went down to Saratoga Springs and I thought it was the desert. True story. I did that literally 30 minutes ago to one of our agents here. But you can find out a lot of the information to help you prepare for that conversation. And again, you're just connecting with those clients. The top 3 kind of master conversations that build a business, I like to call the first one the curious connector. So instead of calling someone and saying, hey, are you looking to buy or sell? Please don't do that. I did that. It didn't work out. Instead, say, what are your real estate goals this year, if any? Because goals look a lot different for a lot of different people and just come from curiosity more than just being a salesy person. We're coming from the relationship. You're not hunting, you're harvesting trust. The second one is the clarity creator. So if someone is unclear of what they want to do, say, hey, would it be helpful if I showed you exactly what's happening in your price point today? If someone's on the fence and you have their price point, they've been pre-approved, and then they just kind of ghost you a little bit, say, hey, would it be helpful to show you what's happening? Same thing if someone said that they might sell this year, same thing. Would it be helpful to show you what's happening in your neighborhood? Would it be helpful to show you what's happening at this price point in this county, in this school zone, etc.? The third one is the confidence booster. So you're neutralizing fear with facts. Normalize the objections. And I mean, so many people are saying, oh, I think I'm just going to wait. Yeah, it might be smart to want to wait. Let's explore all the options so you're empowered either way. Help them explore the options and help them and lead them into the right path for them. Sometimes it isn't smart for someone to buy a house, you know, and we need to put them before us and get rid of our commission breath and truly help them guide that way, because those people will then be your biggest advocates because you had their best interests at heart. You don't grow your business by getting louder. You grow it by listening deeper and leading better conversations. So I'm really happy that we're working on these exactly what to say note cards, and also that leads into the next slide. And there it goes. That also gets you points if you script practice. So please enjoy our sweet graphic. And power play, for those that don't know, Chris and Mike are our team captains. And right now, Chris's team is in the lead. And I want Zach, who is their MVP, to share about where he's getting all of these points. Well, not all day.
I gotta tell you, if you, yeah, she's sick of it. I've got to say, smarter people than me are surrounding me in this building. All of you guys. It started with the Do It With You program that Josh offers, getting your 8x8 and your 36 touch put together. None of us love, well, a lot of us don't love dealing with the data. But on page 37, you guys know the MREA. You're aware of this guy that wrote, these guys wrote this book. Page 37, it has two triangles. One triangle, it shows with the foundation side down, and one with the point down. That point is our creativity, and we always run to that creativity so fast, but we can't ever, it's never effective unless that foundation's set. Josh's class has caused me to get my foundation set up, my models, right? My systems. And there's accountability around that. Once you're in here and you're doing that, I'm around you guys with all of your creativity. Just yesterday, Mark and I, we did script practice, and then we masterminded for an hour. That all came out of starting with Josh's class. So that's where these points are coming from, is getting in the office and participating and using the tools that KW has to offer. And it just sort of spirals from there. It's awesome. Did I leave anything out? Yeah, that's how we're winning. Yeah, we're winning, by the way.
So plug into the Do It With You. I mean, it will do wonders for your business, and we're going to have some pretty sweet prizes for the Power Play. If you haven't signed up for the Power Play yet, it's not too late. You can still join a team. I choose the teams. You can't just pick to join Chris's team because it's in the lead. But scan the QR code and sign up. No. All right, perfect. And then we are having an office space sale through the month of May. So we've changed the prices for some of the offices. And if you sign a 12-month lease, you get 1 month free. So that's pretty sick. And y'all, again, the mountains. I love them. The window offices, chef's kiss. It's so worth it to look out to the mountains. And if you have a bad call with a client, just look out, everything's better. I don't know if it's the same for y'all. I've been here for 2 months, so y'all might be used to it, but it's so nice. Perfect. Well, what Zach just said, I mean, being in the office, plugging into it, you learn so much from just listening to other people's conversations. So many people have an open door policy. They're calling their clients. You're able to hear how they're articulating themselves, their vision, their value proposition to clients. And the more in front of other industry peers and professionals you can be, the better you are. Also, off-market deals. From being, yeah. Yeah, see, I mean, off-market deals and deals happen. I remember I secured a buyer, an off-market buyer for one of my listings by being in the office in Nashville, and it was $1.3 million listing. I hadn't even listed yet, and it was so nice. So be in the office, be around people, talk to people. With that being said, we are also looking for a DOFI, which is a director of first impression. So if y'all know anyone that is absolutely stellar, such a great joy to be around, that isn't an agent, ideally, because I want them to focus on being an agent, feel free to send them to us and we can have a conversation. But we love fun people. All right, wants and needs. Who has a want? Who has a need?
Two things. I've got a listing coming up in Mill Creek. It'll go live Wednesday or Thursday this week. It'll go for probably 825, maybe 815. It's 4 beds, 2 baths. It was completely gutted to the studs in 2017, and everything in there is new from then. It's beautiful throughout and very well maintained. So that'll go live Wednesday or Thursday this week. For me, if you have any questions about that one. And what was my if anybody has a contact for a contractor that can deal with septic tanks and leach fields, I'd love that contact info. Thank you.
Mine is the opposite of Chris's. Mine is up in the avenues, $550,000. Needs to be redone down to the studs. Remodeled down to the studs. It has fabulous mountain views, fabulous valley views. You can't beat them. We're getting pictures taken, I think today or yesterday, drone shots. It is stunning. Small little house on a 0.11 of an acre, 550,000. Address is 716 East 8th Avenue. Sorry, what's the what? 3 beds, 1 bath. And it needs to be remodeled down to the studs or more.
I want to remind you guys of the newsletter Do It With You that is going to be tomorrow, right? I'm going to be doing it in the KW Utah Realtors office. It is a gigantic 3.5-mile drive from here. So hopefully there'll be a caravan. I mean, you know, pack a lunch and come and do this thing. How many do we have in here right now that are actually doing the newsletter? Man, you have no idea how proud I am of you guys of doing this. Like next year, when we have this conversation, all of you guys are going to be taking somebody with you because of the difference that it's made in your business. So I'm very proud of you guys for doing this, and I'm stoked that I'll see you guys tomorrow at noon in Midvale.
Okay, I have 2 listings going live on Thursday. I've mentioned them before, but I'm just going to bring them up again. One of them is a townhouse in Bountiful. It's on the corner of Valverta and Orchard Drive, if you're familiar with that area. It's adorable. They just painted everything inside brand new, fresh white. It has a remodeled kitchen just a couple years ago, 4 beds, 2 baths. I just staged it. It's adorable, huge deck with a playground in the backyard, and it's an HOA, which you rarely have your own backyard with a playground. So that one's going live on Thursday, $398. And then I have the big house in Centerville that's coming up, 7,500 square feet. There's a basketball court inside. You can look down into it from the kitchen table. So it's super cool. You can have the family over, have big parties. You can have year-round playground because they have the indoor court. They can play all year long with their bikes and whatnot. So that one's going live on Thursday as well. That one's just around 1.5. And we are doing a fun open house this weekend. We're gonna have a basketball shooting contest. I just mailed out 100 postcards to invite the neighborhood. It's gonna be catered. There's gonna be cash prizes. So if anyone wants to come shoot some hoops, come on down. I'll be there. The contest starts at 12. The open house at the Bountiful one is 11 to 1. And Jamie is gonna be working that for me. So thank you. She's not here, but thank you. And then the big house is gonna be from 11 to 2 with the basketball contest at 12. And that's going to be Tiffany and Hannah helping me there. So come on down, bring me some buyers. And if you don't have buyers, just come play basketball and eat some food.
All right, I've got a listing coming up on Parkway up here over in Highland Park, around 725. She would love to sell it off market. 4 bedrooms, 2 full baths, 2,000 square feet, 1 car detached garage. Cute yard, great yard. So if you didn't hear me earlier, I am selling my house off market. Again, if you don't have the details on that, just come and see me and I will give them to you. But it is a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 2,100 square foot home in North Salt Lake on the bench. Great views. And it has a walkout basement and it's awesome. So come let me know if you want to market it to your database. Off market property. I'm probably gonna price it around like I'm gonna be listing it the last weekend of May, so you have until then to come to me. But I'm gonna be listing it for about $650. So you will get it for a much better price if you come to me before that.
I've got some buyers that are looking, unfortunately, not in that area, but in that price range. So under 650 between Mill Creek to Sandy, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths at least, with some kind of garage. They would love something that has like an ensuite bathroom. They're okay with like an unfinished basement. So if you have something coming up, let me know, please.
I gotta say, I love it that even with more inventory coming up, our buyers are still trying to find the right place. So don't feel like there's too many houses, because I don't know about you, but I got buyers and we're still looking for just the right place. So bring the listings. We have a little cute cottage home, patio home going live this week. It is in a 55 plus community. It's very small, 12 houses, single family homes, which is unusual for 55 plus. It is 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, big open floor plan, private yard in the back. HOA takes care of the driveways and the sidewalks for snow. They do the yards for the front. They don't do the backyards behind the fence. If you're gardening, that's you. But priced at $435. HOA is really low too. I can't remember. No, is it 95? 95 on the HOA. So it is in West Valley, 48th West and 41st South. So cute, cute place. You can come see mine and Joe's at the same time. Joe's got one in there too.
Hey, for you guys who don't know yet, and maybe you'll find out, but KW Command just released its exclusive listings to where we can actually pre-market our listings off market through our own market center, or we can make it available to all Keller Williams agents. And so you guys have the power of being able to input your own listing now inside of Command. I'm sure that we'll have a training on that coming soon, but this is a new feature that was just released. And so for somebody like you, Jocelyn, this would be a great way to be able to let our, right?
Speaking of 55s, I've got price improvement on my one in Layton, 2 bedroom, 2 bath, 2 car garage in a 55 community, Grace Way, for $450,000.
For those of you who don't know me, I've been a couple of months, been working on some other business stuff, but my name's Ben. I know there's some new faces here. First thing, looking for a lot in the Uintas, around an acre or so, around 100K. Also, possibly a cabin would be an option. Also got a listing coming up in Roosevelt 400K, about 2,000 square feet, 2 acres, horse property. That should be going live in a few days. And then last thing, the other piece of stuff that I've been working on, audiologist as well, with people with hearing loss. Just got my mobile hearing care business up. So if anyone needs help with hearing loss, hearing aid, family clients, especially people with mobility issues, I think people are doing this testing.
Going back to what to say and when to say it, I've been, when I taught the Rising Star class, we went over those and I borrowed the cards. And so I looked at it to see what they cost. And if 10 people go in, they're $25 a piece. If you just buy one, it's $59. So if you are interested, let me or the office know, and we could go in and get those for a less price. Talking about the vacant ground, I've got one 20 up by Echo, 21 acres. It has 3 structures on it. And the last agent had it listed at 450. And my past client said, I made a mistake for not calling you, Linda. So he's looking at putting it on the market the end of May when y'all can get up there because of the snow. I have a listing that I'd like to see if a new agent, well, the last agent had it at 450, and so he's aggressive. He wants to get it sold. So I've got pictures of it. But if a new agent wants to do an open house on Saturday from 11 to 1, I have a single condo, a 3-bed, 2-bath, has the single car garage, and I'm happy to have you host it with me. And that price is $450 as well. It's over by Top Golf. I think that's, oh, is the time for those cards on Tuesday and Friday going to be at 9:30? 9:30. I just didn't know the time. Thanks.
Good day, I'm Justin. I've got 2 listings coming up in pretty exclusive areas. I've been alcohol-free for 3 days. So one is in Yellcrest. It's about 3,100 feet. I think it's 4-bedroom, 3-bath. It's got a 2-car garage within walking distance to Immigration Market. So if you're interested, that's going to be about 1.3. It's about 8 days out before we go on the market. And then we've got one in the Cove that'll be at $1 million, and that's 2 to 3 weeks out. And that is a divorce sale, and that's about 3,200 feet. Yeah, 4-bed, something, 2-car garage. Let me know if you're interested before we hit the market.
Love it. All right. And we have time for one more want-need.
I've got a listing that's going up probably in the next couple weeks. It's past clients, so it's 35 East Redondo Avenue. She's done quite a bit of updates in between 2100 South and State Street, so right behind that. It's a cute little house. They're like 900 square feet, but she's got a tiny home in the backyard that's we had to continue moving that out. Perfect. I'm still working on that. So I'm still working on the price to include the tiny home. It's completely, yeah. So I'm thinking like 450, 475. That's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. Same lot. The tiny home is got contractor to see if we could add the plumbing clean out. So it's retrofitted with water heater. It's a little tiny house. So 2-bed, 1-bath, about 767 square feet on the first level. The basement is just a crawl space. They've done all plumbing, electrical. She's done quite a bit of updating, for the hard stuff. So 450, 5 with the little tiny house.
Perfect. Awesome. And we have on-site home inspections for us, and
Howdy,
they
y'all.
brought the food. So pay attention.
So we got some Chick-fil-A for y'all whenever we're done with this. Just wanted to give y'all two things to try and remember. Keep it pretty simple. So I'm Wyatt. I'm the vice president of on-site home inspections. Some of y'all might have worked with Sheehan before. He's been in the business for a long time, 10 plus years. Two things are, we are going to do your inspection same day or next day. And my goal with that is to get y'all as much time in that due diligence as possible so that, you have time to make any other contacts, get everyone there that you need to. And then if you mention my name on the next order for you or your clients, we'll give you $100 off your rate on any additional services, meth, sewer camera, something like that. And I wanted to also introduce our newest inspector, Tyler. He's coming on very soon. He had a little bit of a knee incident, but we're gonna be. He's an awesome inspector. He worked with. He's got Harry Potter knee, I call it, but he's worked with for Nook and Cranny and some other businesses here, so he's got a lot of experience.
How you guys doing? My name is Tyler Zach. I have a unique perspective on home inspecting and the relationship between home inspectors and realtors because both my parents as well as my grandmother have been realtors my entire life. So I understand how hard and difficult a home inspector can make your guys' life. Here we strive to make your guys' life as easy as possible. So if you need something specific, a late inspection on a Sunday or something, give us a call. Make your life as easy as possible. Thank you.
And last thing, that is my personal cell phone number. I'm going to leave cards out there. I left some the other day and they all got taken. So glad to see that. But yeah, no, just feel free to go out there and then we'll be around as y'all eat lunch.